the question that comes right to the top of my mind, and I'm going to ask you, Mance, is that I've had 3 very intelligent computer scientists explain to me their consensus algorithms, you and Emin and Silvio, and they all seem incredible and plausible. Who is right? Is someone going to be wrong? Can they all be right? Is yours better? How do you answer those questions, even if you were to be objective about it?
Well, so there are some things that are purely objective and not subjective at all. And that has to do with the math itself, right? You have a consensus algorithm. It has a set of properties that can be analyzed formally, mathematically, and without saying anything about the competition or my competition or the others that have good platforms in the market today that I respect. What I can say is that Hashgraph has a certain property. It's called asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance. This name, the asynchronous qualifier, is not new. It's been known for decades, right? In the world of distributed consensus, the academic community has understood for decades that asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance, or ABFT, is the gold standard. You can't do any better in terms of security than ABFT. And what I can say is that that's the problem Lehman wanted to solve. Lehman wanted to find an ABFT algorithm that was also highly performant. There have been ABFT algorithms in the market for, like I say, for decades, but the trade-off has always been in terms of performance versus security. The better the security, the worse the performance. Lehman cracked that nut, so to speak. He solved that problem in that he was able to find an algorithm that maximizes both at the same time. And this is not a subjective statement. There are math proofs that prove that Hashgraph has this set of properties. And it's kind of like when you're building a building, the quality of the building depends in large part not just on the architecture, but on the how sound, how secure the bricks themselves are that are being used to construct the building. And what we've started with a brick that maximizes security in ABFT and performance simultaneously. And it turns out that if you start there, then the house that you build looks very different than if you start with something less. And it's my understanding that Hashgraph is unique in the market and that it has the ABFT properties where the others don't. And that's not to say that you can't build a good platform with something lesser, but we didn't want to start there. We wanted to start with the best.
And it's interesting you say the details of your consensus mechanism actually affect the entire architecture of the system.
Absolutely, they do. They do. And the reason they do, let me explain just a bit. Normally, when you're scaling up a network, you end up having to make some compromises to achieve scale. And those compromises often come at the expense of security. However, if you start with ABFT, asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerant algorithm, like Hashgraph, then it's possible to build a network and then scale a system of networks, all of which are ABFT, that integrate and work together, and you don't compromise security at all. You maintain the ABFT property across the network as a whole, as opposed to having to reduce the security of the network when you try to scale to multiple networks and beyond. That's the importance of ABFT, and Hashgraph has that.